Fantastic. Let me start with you, Dr. Agbons. 28 member list sent to the National Assembly for screening. That exercise will start on Monday. The Senate is very vehemently clear about how they want to go about this exercise. Was there any surprise in this list? Were you in any way disappointed by this list sent by Mr. President to the Senate for screening?
Thank you, Sonny, for that question. And thank you for your very robust introduction of this topic this morning. I think you covered every blade there. Personally, I would say that I'm not really impressed with the ministerial list. And the reason is that, like you already alluded to, for that we waited for 60 days, I think, that the Constitution stipulates that the President must send his list to the National Assembly, and then to get the names we have now, it's not eliciting any buzz, at least from me personally, because what the media handlers of the President, even during the campaigns and after the election result was pronounced, is that President is a talent hunter, he know how to discover talent, and putting technocrats together and all that. So, but when you look at the list, like you just said, to be having a list made up of former governors who are tired and who should be retired anyway, former senators, former members of the House of Rep, political acolytes and accomplices, so they are just there. So apart from maybe 3 or 4, and which I will highlight later as we go in this discussion, personally, I'm not impressed with this list.
Okay.
So,
Dr. Tony Agbons, let's quickly know from you, what are your misgivings about the 28-man ministerial list sent by Mr. President to the Senate? We don't even know their portfolios because these names were sent without portfolios.
Yeah, thank you, Sonny Duke, and thanks to my fellow panelists, today. But I just want to make something straight here. I think the time for political campaign is over. So I think it's time for governance. So even though we know that there are issues in court, we are not even talking about that today. So, but let's face what is in front of us. So, because some of the things I'm hearing here is like, maybe we are in January 2023 or December 2022, like campaign. Let's not even go that route. Nigeria, at the moment, we practice a presidential system of government. And we all know, as students of governance and constitutional democracy, we know what that entails. The United Kingdom, what we practice here is a parliamentary democracy. So there are two different things. I'm not saying that the list is wishy-washy. I'm not saying that. But I think Nigeria expected for 60 days. And the president even traveled to France. They said he was putting his team together and all that. For 60 days to come up with this list. It's not just about the former governor. If you look at this list, there are former House of Reps members, former senators in that list. So that is what a lot of Nigerians are talking about, and those are the things I highlighted. So we need a breath of fresh air. Look, let me say something here. If you look at somebody like Dr. Betta Edu, she's 36. Edu was born 1986 here. So that kind of thing is commendable.
Okay.
So we need a breath of fresh air. I was listening to an interview yesterday, former Ebonyi State Governor, who is a current serving senator. You know what he said? He said, "Oh, I didn't lobby for this, so the president just made me a minister." In fact, when my current governor of Ebonyi suggested it, they said they needed 3 names from Ebonyi State. When he suggested my name, I said, no, governor, don't put my name there. I want to rest.
Yes.
He want to rest in the Senate. Now he's a senator. Now he's been made a minister.
Yes.
So is it just so the concern of most Nigerians?
It's like a joke.
Like me, is it just about these people? We just keep recycling these people.
Yeah.
We keep recycling them. So they finish 8 years as governor. Won't you rest a little bit? You refresh, travel around, do some study, do some research, find out things. Then you just jump into another role. Look, I was listening to former Lagos State Governor Raji Fashola. You know what he said? He said it is very draining. He was chief of staff to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu when Tinubu was governor of Lagos State. When he finished chief of staff, he became, that's Fashola, he became governor for 8 years. Then after that, he became minister for 8 years. So when people were telling him that, you need to serve again, he said, my brother, I need to rest. Nearly 24 years. So, look, we are all human beings. So, and the work, like we all agree that the state Nigeria is now, this is not the state for people to go and learn on the job. We need to, start off.
Dr. Agbons, are you concerned in any way by the seeming posture of these ministerial nominees as a compensation for electoral victory, as it were? Are you bothered in that light?
Yeah, definitely, Sonny, definitely. And it's not unexpected because, like I stated earlier, this is a presidential system of government and it's party politics. So those who work, they must chop.
Those who work must chop. Dr. Agbons, that's what you want to say.
So that is expected. It's not a new thing. Every government, Tinubu is not the first president we are having. We've had Obasanjo, Sheikh Musa Yar'Adua, Goodluck Jonathan, and Muhammadu Buhari and all that. So it's not new. And we see how presidential system is operated in other countries. So there's no problem with that. But for many of us, analysts like us, what we like, there's nothing overly new about this list. And if you notice, I've refrained from really mentioning names in this interview, beginning to pick, but I think I'm being forced to do that now. Okay. If you look at a name like Sani Abubakar Danladi, is a senator. Professor Ali Pate is a former Minister of State for Health. And then I think we've mentioned all the governors. Somebody like Stella Okutote, the lady from Delta State, even though she has some issues, there was a time she had some issue with certificate and all that. She's in the finance sector. Wale Edun, we all know, is from the finance sector as well. Wike is a lawyer. Umahi is an engineer. I want us to know something when it comes to the problem Nigeria have always had. The way we recycle leadership in Nigeria. My brother, my brothers in the studio, we need to have a rethink. Because this idea of, this person did this person did that, we just mention things, infrastructure, this and that, and there are no proper empirical evidence. It's just too much of politics for some of us. And that is why the level of psychophancy, even from people who are not directly involved in political appointments. I don't know whether it's because of what we want to get or what we want to enjoy or because it's our party. Like I've said, campaigns are over. So let's focus on what can be done now. And I must say this, it is also very unfortunate, and I think the National Assembly have to look at that. We need to amend our laws. High time that when presidents send their ministerial list, portfolios should be attached.
Okay.
Sonny Duke, when you were introducing this program, you said that National Assembly have even promised that even if it takes 3 hours, they will screen a minister. I will be happy for somebody like Dr. Betta Eduna. Let's assume the president has put their health. So when she goes to the Senate, they will drill her and ask her, how are you going to deal with issue of tertiary healthcare, primary healthcare, working with state government, secondary healthcare, that kind of thing. And then somebody like Wale Edun, if he's Minister for Information, No, I'm talking of daily minister of information. So you ask him, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? So we need to be having that. So those are some of the things I think we should be talking about. Let the portfolios be attached so that when they go to the Senate, they will be asking them questions directly to their portfolio. Or you put somebody in education, you say, okay, our university system, what are you going to do? Vocational education, secondary education, how are you going to work with the state, primary education with the local government, what are the changes we are bringing? These are the things we should be hearing. Or if somebody like Fagbemi, who is a legal luminary, you say, okay, if you are made the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, what is it that you're going to do? So those are some of the things I think we should be discussing and not just staying on campaign mode.
All right, but Manuel, quickly talk to us about. We will call it a wrap shortly, but let's just get final words from our panelists in terms of their expectations from the ministerial nominees. Anyhow we like it, whatever we feel about it. They've made a list. It certainly will be screened, bearing any last-minute change or changes as the case may be. They certainly will become a new set of ministers, even though we're yet to ascertain exactly where they are going to function. But anyhow, they understand the state of affairs in the country. What are your expectations, Dr. Agbons?
Yeah, thank you, Sonny Duke. For me, like as is often said, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. So we wait and see what this new team will do.
Okay.
And as a Nigerian, I must say this, I lived in Lagos when Tinubu was governor. So some of the things that some people are banding around, I just shake my head. The truth of the matter is that we need to start seeing those in political position as servants. They are to serve us. I've always said this in several fora. And we should not be kowtowing to them. They are to serve us. They apply to do this job. So we shouldn't be praising them excessively. When they do well, we commend. And when they don't, we also put forward objective criticism. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you, Dr. Agbons.